to tell us more about all his plans. Please welcome Michel Jarre.
Hello. The French way.
Bonjour.
Hello.
Well, look, we're all showing off. We're all going bonjour.
Yeah.
That's it, though.
I went, hiya.
So tell us about the new tour. Is it something different to the things that you've done before? What can we
it's
expect?
quite different. I feel like a beginner, actually, because it's a one and only world tour. It's my first world tour, actually, because I did lots of big events or one-off concerts. And this one is quite special. I had that in mind for quite a while. I mean, to try to take the experience I have from outdoor concert and putting it into indoor venues, and with lots of quite stunning, I hope, laser light shows and new audio and new system of sound. And I'm quite excited by playing the greatest hits plus new music and new tracks in a different environment.
Because your shows are utterly spectacular. I mean, they light up whole cities. It's not just about one little concert hall, is it? You light up cities. It must take months and months and months to plan for one concert, for one event. Therefore, it's sort of been impossible to take it on the road, really.
Yeah, so it's a relief to take month and month to plan more than one-off, not one concert, in a sense.
So the entire world, you're going everywhere?
Yeah, and I'm playing the whole world from now to end of 2010, and it's a real pleasure to start more or less here in this country. It's always a pleasure to be in the UK and in London particularly.
Where did you sort of get your love for the electronic music that you do? What were the origins of that?
Actually, as a French, I love cooking, and I always thought there is a strong link between electronic music and cooking. It's like cooking frequencies and ingredients and textures and sounds. And actually, it's the reverse of the idea that a lot of people have vis-à-vis electronic music, thinking it's robotic and cold and not really human. Actually, I always thought the reverse, that by mixing sounds and frequencies is something that... I mean, when you see a DJ, it's like in his kitchen in front of his oven, I mean, in a sense.
Yeah.
And I always like that. And also the idea of considering and approaching music more in terms of sounds than just notes is also something that actually now is totally common. It became common. It's the way of doing music these days, actually.
Do you know something? I actually don't care what you're saying. I'm just listening to your accent, just like that.
I know, I'm trying to improve it, but not too much.
But how do you, just out of interest, do you write it down?
Does she mean that I was slightly boring?
No,
I meant you could say...
No, I know. I was just kidding. No, I got it.
You talk about anything to me, anytime.
But she has that with her Geordie accent, if you let her speak to you. But, pardon my ignorance, but how do you write it down? Is anything written down? I mean, you know, like notation.
Yeah, sure.
So you notate it, and then you improvise the mixing around it.
Actually, it depends. I mean, writing a song is like writing a song. You can use write the song on a piano or on a synthesizer, or by writing some notes on a piece of music.
You don't improvise at night.
I understand what you're saying by I mean, the actual manufacturing or doing it is more on the instruments and the kind of dialogue between the instruments, and you know, it's quite close to, I mean, playing with the guitar or with the violin. It's just a different instrument, that's all.
But light is a very important part of your shows as well, isn't it? The lasers and the light displays as well, which is a completely different expertise than music. So you've had to become...
Actually, I was hesitating between painting and music, so it's maybe because of that. But also, I always thought that electronic music maybe would require also in a performance something... or would answer to some expectation that the audience could have vis-à-vis the fact that going to see a concert is actually to watch something, not only listen to something.
Right.
And I always thought that the mixture between lights and music works quite well. It's probably also a French tradition.
Son et lumière.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Oh, she's...
Very good, very good.
She's so cultured.
I can do birds, I can do language.
I noticed that.
Do you find inspiration from just life itself? For instance, the dawn chorus. Do you like
Yes,
where I went into that?
Yeah, I'm most of the time listening to the dawn chorus when I go to bed after recording sessions, you know. So I can't. It's always a kind of relief because I know that I'm joining my bed in a sense.
But the sounds of nature itself can be quite inspirational, can't it?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And you know, since Oxygen, I'm quite. Actually, my music has always been, in my opinion, linked to not outer space, but more kind of the space around us and music. I always felt that kind of impressionistic. Yes,
you
approach
sort of likened
of
your
music.
music to almost the painting of like Jackson Pollock or something.
Yeah,
It's sort of,
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
and you play to millions, don't you? It's not just a case of a little concert
Yes,
hall, wasn't it?
exactly.
In Russia, 3.5 million people.
Yeah, but you know, I was not. It's hard to organize that. You don't know what's going on. But I think it's probably talking about birds and nature and all that. I mean, it's sending us to this very natural way of gathering and experimenting things live all together in an outdoor situation. When you are outdoor, by definition, the venue is you don't control the venue, and it's actually something very special. There is a kind of very poetic approach to this. I mean, having a one-off experience where you have no second chance for the next Saturday or something like that.
When can people see you in the UK? Where and when?
Actually, the 22nd in London, in Wembley Arena, 22nd of May, and then 23rd in Birmingham, 24th in Manchester, and the 20th in Glasgow, 2 days before.
Fantastic.
So, and I'm really looking forward to being in the UK. I have always had a special relationship with this country, and it's always a pleasure.
I think Denise has formed a special relationship
surrounded
with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Michel Jarre. Still lots more to come with Nina Wadia. We'll be popping